Hi, and welcome back to the Highline with Liam Anderson Motorsports. I'm Jenny Funk. I'm the Communications Manager and Marketing Manager for Liam Anderson Motorsports, LLC.
Hi, I'm Liam Anderson, driver of the number 18 Coyote chassis for the Maryland Sprint Series.
Hi, I'm Sean Anderson, crew and car chief for the number 18 Liam Anderson Motorsports.
And welcome back for another episode.
Hi, I'm Liam Anderson, driver of the number 18 Coyote chassis. I want to say thanks to Crouch Auto Body for sponsoring us this season. You can call Crouch at 410-398-9420 or visit them online at crouchab.com for all your auto body needs.
In the last episode, we touched a little bit on the first couple of seasons, and you talked about how you had a fear of wrecking and how nerve-wracking the noise from the engine was and the speed. So what was going through your mind in those first couple of seasons?
Don't wreck. It's slow. But second season, I started seeing a couple other drivers do it, and I watched their throttle, and I watched how much they're steering. And kept on practicing, and then finally got the hang of high-speed corners.
Finally got the hang of the high-speed course. Now, you said that he burnt up the brakes those first couple of seasons.
Yeah, foot on the accelerator, foot on the gas at the same time. It's a no-go. But we bought a used car, used parts, everything was used. It was a have at it. Just go out there and have at it. See how he did, let him actually get used to the fundamentals and the basics. There was a couple times where I had to replace the brake pads on the car, but a few times he come in and the brake pads and the rotor, had been smoking because they were so hot.
We don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, we do. Of course
no,
we
don't.
It's all part of it, and part of learning.
Yeah, it's all part of learning, and it's okay. I just had to coach him through it and try to tell him it's okay. But one of the biggest fears, I believe, watching him go out there with the other racers was the other racers. They showed no mercy on him. They would just fly past him, and you could just see him, just kind of jump a little bit. But eventually he got used to it, and he got tired of it, and he said, "Okay, I'm ready to go." And it's that first part of diving in and seeing what it's all about and starting to become more familiar with things. And over the past couple of years, is less and less fear out of him. So,
do you think it was helpful that the other drivers didn't take it easy on you?
Honestly, yes. But, well, at first, you do have to show a little mercy. I'm a beginner, and it startled me a lot. But, still, it taught me at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know that a lot of the racing season takes place during the school year. Mm-hmm. So, and I know that you actually keep pretty good grades. So what's it like balancing the race season and the school year?
Difficult because you're struggling between homework that you get off school 3:30, you do your homework to probably 4. And then after that, you're probably spending 2 hours on the simulator, and then eating, then shower, and then you ain't got much time in the day when you're at home, when you have school homework and you're homework and racing at the same time.
Yep, the schoolwork is very important to us, and I'm proud to say that he's keeping all A's and B's. One of his weaknesses is writing and handwriting, and just trying to keep everything together with that and trying to do it neatly. But other than that, he's come a long way. We monitor his grades as well, which is very important. So
It is important to keep getting good grades.
It is.
Do you have a favorite subject in school? And don't say recess or lunch.
Really depends. Not really.
You don't have a favorite subject at all?
If you're going off teachers, yes.
Oh, okay. So it's whether or not you like your teacher.
Yeah.
Favorite, that's what I'm saying. I may or may not pick favorites.
So
okay.
One of the things that I noticed was in racing school, there was a science, technology, engineering, and math. It's a STEM program. And when it comes to building things, I've noticed that he has a knack for doing that. He built a CO2 dragster that he almost made it completely all the way through and won the whole thing, but got knocked out of the final round because of a reaction time. But he understands aerodynamics and friction now and everything, and it was all put together by Urban Youth Racing School, and they did an excellent job in the classroom with him. And so if I can comment on that, I would say anything science and engineering.
Okay.
He's really started to excel.
Your number one qualifier for the 2022 Fall Edition of the Urban Youth Racing School Village Green CO2 Drag Race Championship was Liam.
I'm going to correct you. It wasn't because of reaction time. I had a better reaction time before him, but I was going a little bit too hard on the easy boys first.
Okay.
And I got to start conserving my car because it's not the car the round before finals.
Yep. It was a conservation of the car that ultimately knocked him out of the final race. He made it all the way and was knocked out of the final race because of a little bit of abuse on his car. But he did a great job. Very proud of him.
Okay, awesome. So definitely more STEM related than English and the arts.
Yes.
All right. What else do you like? What are your other interests or hobbies?
Depends. I really like playing football. I'm not that great at it, though. I'm good defense, but besides football, fishing.
Yep.
Father-son time.
Yep, very much so. Yeah, fishing's been a pastime for a long time, a very long time between Dad and I. And, of course, our uncles. And, I remember going as a kid and waking up in the morning and going bass fishing for trout. Liam really enjoys that as well. So, unfortunately, it's been a little rainy and cold here lately. So we've been enjoying other things like shooting airsoft guns and things like that. But, yeah, that's part of it. A little behind the scenes.
We definitely grew up fishing with Dad. So who's your favorite football team?
I'm going to get a lot of hate on this one.
Uh-oh.
Texans.
The Texans. Oh, I know your dad's is the Cowboys.
Yep.
Same state, at least.
Yep. Been a Texas sports fan for many years. We love Texas.
We do.
So, what's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
Well, I don't really know that. We probably went fishing before I was old enough to start memorizing that much. What do you think?
Well, I can tell you, I love telling fishing stories, and I know a lot of times you hear stories on fishing, and everybody's like, oh, I got the biggest fish, and I got the biggest one, but I watched him reel in a 5-pound bass, and he did it all on his own. So I mean, this was a monster. It was
How
a
old was he?
He was 5 years old.
5 years old, and you reeled in a 5-pound bass.
Yeah.
All right, bud.
Yeah, we went out on the boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, little John boat, went out on the pond. Yep, first cast he had a little worm on the end and kept jigging, and finally that thing just nailed it. I just remember the screams. They got one, Daddy.
So
you
excited.
did have to help me like a couple seconds, and then when I got it a little...
You did most of the work. I was proud of you. Yeah.
And back to the hobby things, one just popped up in my mind after the fishing stories. I do like going crabbing with my uncle, and that is not the biggest fish I caught, because I go fishing with my uncle all the time.
Yeah. You got another big one, did you?
Humongous.
Okay.
My uncle has really good bait. He has a really good rod, and I caught at least, he said it was in an 8-pound, but I do not believe it.
Did you go out on the bay?
Yeah, we went down to Rock Hall. And,
out on the river, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Humongous.
Yeah, I've caught a lot of stick fish over the years.
What are those?
That's when your lure gets caught on a stick and you lose it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We were out fishing one time for Northeast. In Northeast, and you threw it and it got stuck.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's alright, we got another rod. and you threw it, and you got it stuck on the same exact tree.
Yeah, well, we weren't having a good day that day.
No, so we went to Northeast, and
Other than spending time together.
yeah, we went to Northeast by the park, and we threw it. He got it stuck under the rocks. 3 rods gone in one day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bad day fishing.
I told
It was a good day together, though. That's all that matters.
That's good. That's good.
Memories.
So, in your first couple of seasons, what was one thing or a couple of things that surprised you about kart racing that you maybe didn't expect?
Well, I have a couple memories, but I'll tell you that first. Didn't expect the speed. You look at the karts and like, oh, that's slow. I got in it, touched the gas pedal, I was gone. I can't explain it. I can't put it in words.
You surprised yourself.
I did.
Okay, and you said you have a couple of stories for me?
One. It was in my first or second season that he told me to get like a 20-second lap at Nicholson Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it was a 15-second or was it 20? I think it was 20.
It was awful close, yeah.
15 second. And I ran out there and ran the exact number he said, 15 flat.
Yeah, something along those lines. Not exactly,
No.
of course, but
I can't
as an estimate. But one of the things I found is coaching Liam in the pits and telling him, hey, I need another second off you. Hey, I need another second off you. And he would get frustrated at times, and he would say, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and then I'd coach him through it. And try to teach him the science and the engineering behind everything that I had learned over the years. And, friction causes your car to slow down, and, more throttle, less steering, the car will steer for you, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And, just him going out there. But, the biggest thing that I noticed is that when he's mad, that's when he's fast. So when he gets mad, he just doesn't let up.
Just lays it down,
He just lays it down.
All right.
I have a song that explains that exact feeling.
Okay, what is it?
It's called Beginning of the End by All Good Things.
Okay, we'll have to look that one up. So, Sean, kart racing takes a lot of knowledge, equipment, travel, funding, and you're a single dad.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is.
How have you managed to come across the knowledge that you need? Even a lot of these people have teams that are ready to go, and you don't have that. You guys have to work for everything that you have. Yeah,
a lot of teams out there, they have I'm not saying all teams, and most of the people that we run with at the track, it's a family. We're a racing family, and we're not going to sit there and tell each other our secrets, because obviously the competition wouldn't be there at that point. But just starting out, everybody was just, friendly, and I was able to take hold of, a few key points, knowledge of the basics and things like that. But it's overall, joining social media groups and, listen to what everybody's talking about. And, I've gotten some education from quite a few respectable drivers, and, how they come across and learn things, and, tire pressures, and, how to make the tires, grip better, and things like that. Just all the things that you could do without cheating. Obviously, we don't want to cheat.
No.
But just, Google, YouTube, things of that nature. It's a lot better to reach out to someone that you're not in competition with, because they're not afraid to, tell you certain things other people would be afraid to tell you. But just learning the overall engineering and how a kart actually works. A lot of people think that it's just a matter of just, slapping a car on a track and letting them go.
Nope.
And you can do that, but then you're not competitive.
No.
So, over the years, it's just building the driver and building the car and trying to make it faster and better and handle faster, and explain to him, what's the car doing? Well, Dad, I don't know. Okay, well, when you go around a corner, is it sliding too much? Are you getting enough grip? Just watching him on the track, just seeing everybody else, and what they're capable of doing with their car. It's a learning process. A lot of notes, taking a lot of notes and figuring out track temperatures and things like that. But
Do you feel like your background in automotive helped you get a handle on it a little faster?
Not really.
No?
No, not
Completely
really.
different?
I think it's totally different. I went to school in high school for automotive and learned a few technical things. As I probably said before, the electricity part of it, I'm not very good with that. So that is probably my biggest weakness is electricity and automotive, and how that plays out and how that works. But as far as learning actually how the car works, it doesn't have a suspension. So that's huge. You hit a bump in that thing and it's completely upset.
Well, that's got to be uncomfortable. A little bit.
And
Liam will tell you. Yeah, he'll tell you. You hit a bump in that thing and it's upset.
I don't want to tell you.
But I actually had a chance to get in an adult car. Shout out to Travis Manning. He allowed me to drive his car for a couple laps at Sandy Hook Speedway. We rented the track just to, test and tune kind of day and figure some things out. And I tell you, it's like nothing you've ever felt before.
I'm going to add on to the suspension thing. It doesn't have to do with the suspension, but, it involves the pain part. So, beginning of the season, we bought this new kart. I was complaining to my dad that my behind's hurting after I get off the car. Well, turns out the seat was scraping the ground across the whole track, and
Yeah, that wasn't last season. That was the season before.
yeah.
I couldn't really figure it out. I heard the car bottom out a couple times, but I guess it was a distinctive sound that normally metal across asphalt makes, and it wasn't metal at all. It was fiberglass. And he had gotten out of the car one day, and it's a wonder his butt wasn't on fire from the friction from the seat rubbing the ground. But we had to get the seat repaired. We made a few adjustments and just every year it's a constant thing to try to get him comfortable in the car, because obviously he's growing.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 10-year-old. He's growing. He's getting taller. He's getting heavier. So we just have to make constant adjustments with the cars and the weights, and making sure he's on point with that.
Okay. And speaking of adjustments and maintaining the kart, I know that that's a cost in and of itself. And then there's the cost of preparing for the season, the travel expenses and things like that. Mm-hmm. So how have you guys managed so far?
We've managed. We always pull it together at the last moment. But, I think anywhere between $12,000 and $14,000 is usually our budget for the whole year. And that includes everything, our fuel, our travel, our admission fees, and maintaining the car and getting the latest, greatest parts that he needs to be competitive. And sponsorship, of course, over the years has helped out with that.
Okay. And how do you feel about going into this season?
I don't think I'm prepared enough. I do need a little bit more practice, but the season is not here yet. We got another month to get ready.
And you learned some things over your break this time around that you're going to be able to apply going in.
I thought I knew it all about racing until I got into the Urban Youth Racing School.
And they taught you some things, huh?
Yeah. I never understood what aerodynamics meant, apparently, and friction.
Yeah, one of the biggest struggles was teaching them what an apex means.
Mm-hmm.
And the apex is the preferred racing line around the track because it's the fastest line. When you set your car up for corner entry, that pretty much means everything. If you don't have corner entry, your whole entire corner is just gone, and you've shaved seconds off your lap time. So just setting him up for that, just allowing him to feel what it is to set that car up for corner entry and be able to accelerate out with the grip, that was a huge hurdle, but I think we got past that with the racing school.
Yes,
I believe you got past that. I watched him put it into practice, and he even incorporated a sweet crossover move there at one point.
Yeah. You want to explain what a crossover move is?
Well, I had a couple guys blocking me up front, 3 guys, and I acted like I was going to the inside, and then he came to the inside, and then acted like I go to the outside again, and he swerved to the outside and thought I was going to go inside, but no, he swerved back to the inside, and I overtook him all.
Yeah, so the famous crossover move, that's happened for years, to where you set the guy up on the outside, and he thinks you're going outside, So he goes into the corner too fast because he knows that you're behind him, and it sets him up for failure pretty much, and he ends up coming up out of the groove because he's entered the apex wrong, and then Liam was able to shoot to the inside and make a pass. So a lot of seconds off his lap times. Constant improvement. Yep.
So what are your goals for the 2023 season? Not just professional, but also personal. What are your goals this year? How do you want to close out this year?
I still haven't came up with that yet.
You don't know what your goal is for the year?
Normally just racing stuff and winning. Well, I do, but it involves like racing. It's iRacing. I really want to start getting into the racing type of iRacing because I'm doing testing right now, getting better. I want to create a Twitch account and start Twitch streaming iRacing.
So you want to get good enough to be able to start your own Twitch streaming channel for iRacing?
Soon. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've been practicing every day, multiple times a day, so I'm sure you'll get it soon. And what are the goals for the team this year?
Well,
for you?
So we recently started our own business. We're an official LLC now, and I'm very proud of that. Eventually I just want to become independent and let this take off and just see where it takes us. We're going to be doing some fundraising. Some new apparel is going to be coming out hopefully soon. And once we get the website built and the podcast done, I believe that things will eventually start taking off.
Absolutely. We worked really hard for this, and we're going to continue working really hard for it. And we're going to have some personalized Liam Anderson Motorsports merch for you guys soon.
Yep.